Welcome back to my channel Duct Tape Mechanic and to another episode of my series Free on Facebook, which is a series of videos in which I find things for free, mostly off of Facebook Marketplace, and I show you how to repair them, repurpose them, or reuse them in another manner. In this video I'm going to show you how to repair a LG top load washing machine that's not agitating and therefore not washing your clothes properly. So if you find this video to be helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more DIY and tinkering videos. So here's what's happening. I got the washing machine in the wash cycle, but as you could see, hopefully you can see that the clothes are just sitting there, they're not moving around, they're not being agitated. That's because the wash plate itself has been stripped out. It's pretty much a metal piece that's sitting on, it's a plastic piece that's sitting on a metal transmission, and eventually that transmission shaft spines will wear out the wash plate, especially if you overload it. But lucky for us, it's a simple repair and they can get your machine up and going in about 5 minutes. So let's get to it. Another quick test you could do if you didn't see that the wash plate wasn't agitating and you just noticed that your clothes were dirty, was you can actually open up the top lid right here and actually spin the wash plate by hand. So you come over here and it should not do that at all. You shouldn't be able to spin the entire wash plate like that because it should be attached to the shaft of the transmission. So that's when you know your wash plate is stripped. Now this video is going to be pretty much applicable to any sort of LG top load washer that has a wash plate. So model numbers really don't matter in this case. They've been pretty much manufacturing this sort of washer for the past at least 5+ years. But if you're curious, this is the particular model number for this machine, and so let's get to this repair. It's really simple. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the center cap. Now it is a little bit deceptive on how to remove this. It's kind of tempting to stick your screwdriver in like that and pry it off, but that is not how it comes off. It will actually break it. What you got to kind of do is you got to kind of stick the screwdriver at the base of the cap and kind of work it around. And depending on how old your machine is, it may be a little bit stuck in there, but eventually it'll come off if you just kind of stick it in there and kind of work it around. But yeah, by prying on the top like that, you're not going to do anybody any good. There we go. And that's how it comes off. So after you get the cap off, we're going to take that center bolt off, which is a 10mm bolt, and then after that we're going to kind of rock the wash plate back and forth until we can actually pull it up. It shouldn't be that difficult because it is stripped. If it wasn't stripped and you were trying to do this, I don't know why you would, maybe for maintenance reasons, but then there's a high chance it would be highly corroded. But yeah, 10mm bolt to get that center nut off. Center bolt off, I should say. This will also be a good time to clean that up if you wanted to. Alright, that folks is why you don't use too much fabric softener. Well, it looks like it got cleaned up fairly nicely there. All I did was use a Scotch-Brite pad and some hot water. But just for contrast, if you wanted to see a machine, pretty much the same machine but not so clean, this is what happens when you use too much fabric softener. Alright, enough with the side adventure. Let's get this repair done. Alright, so let's go ahead and replace the wash plate with this replacement right here. The link to this part should come up or should pop up in the bottom of the video. I'm not exactly sure what part of the video it comes up, but it should be there, and that'll take you to a website. It should be around $80 or $85 for this wash plate. Normally I would say it's a little bit expensive, but these LG washing machines have proven to be very reliable. They have a really robust suspension rod system where they have dampeners. I'm quite impressed, and I don't see these out on the street that often. That tells me that they are fairly reliable. So I would say it's well worth it just to replace the $80 or $85 wash plate and get your LG washing machine up and going again. This is a fairly common issue on this machine though, but it's relatively easy. So all you gotta do is put this wash plate back on to the transmission shaft. Just gotta make sure it's centered, and then push it onto the teeth. Like so. Almost no way to screw it up. Alright, so now we're gonna reattach or rebolt on the center bolt. It should look something like this, where you have the bolt, you have this special lock washer looking thing, and then you have that rubber O-ring. And we're just going to take our 10 millimeter socket and impact wrench right here and tighten it up. Now you don't need to go too crazy, because this is, you know, a metal bolt going on a plastic right here, agitator, so it could, you know, crack it if you go too fast. Plastic wash plate, I should say. So just gonna, that's good enough right there. All right, for the last step, we're gonna go ahead and put this cap back on. Just be careful. It's got one side, it's got these spiky prongs, and it's got the other side's got the flat ones. So you just want to make sure you line them up. Into place like so. And that's what it looks like when it's all done. Just gonna push this thing back on. It's lined up. And now if we do our rotation test here, like how we did at the start, you see that when we spin it, the whole drum spins. That's because now the wash plate is attached to the transmission, whereas before we spun it and the wash plate was just going, you know, crazy, like those old spinner rims or something. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and hook this to my wash station. Probably gonna do a drain and spin to get all that dirty water out, then do a test load. Alright, so I've got the machine hooked up to my test station here. Got some duct tape delicates in there, and as you can see, they're being thrown around, agitated, and washed as they're supposed to be. So that's how you make that repair on this washing machine. So if you find this video to be helpful, make sure you hit the thumbs up sign.